Hello and welcome to another in our series of the Bitcoin Libre blockchain. Now, today we're going to look at a few things, how to investigate an account, look at some transactions, and just play around on the app. So as you know, if you watched some of the previous videos, I created an account called iHeartBTC, because I do. And when I made that account, I did it on a YouTube video. So someone else took the C phrase from that account, and they did what every responsible Bitcoin or any crypto enthusiast would do, and they would try to generate that account for themselves. And someone did. So let's go and look at that. So right now I'm on the bitcoinlibre.org website. So it's www.libre.org. And I'm going to click launch the app. So that's going to bring us up to the dashboard. And I'm going to now, so I'm not connected. And we can see just the basic vanilla dashboard for anybody who's looking at Libre and want to like play around with your wallet, swap, farming, all these things, which we'll get into in a moment. But first, I kind of want to go back and look at what happens. So first I'm going to do is connect my wallet. I'm going to do this. I'm going to scan. I've got my phone in front of me here. I'm going to allow and poof, I authorize. And just like that, it is very fast, this tech stack. And this is, I love BTC a lot. So you can tell there's a theme in my account creation here. So we want to go to the Explorer. This is actually going to take me back. So we'll do a few things. So here, basically, once we're in the Explorer, it's actually not tied to my being logged in. I can look at anything I want. So, but since we're here, we're going to type in iHeartBTC, and this is the account that I made before. So this is what's interesting. And we were going to do another video and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Well, and then realizing, wait a minute, something has happened. So on February, there's an unstake. So we staked in the one video, we showed how to stake 300 Libre and we staked it, I think, for a year. But what you can do is unstake in Libre. And so what happens? So if we go to this one where someone basically on this is February 4th. I didn't do this. So if we click on this account or on this particular transaction, we're going to go over here. I did it. And what happened is iHeartBTC had a stake. And basically they unstaked. And you'll notice here, which is very interesting, is that there's an unstake penalty. So initially 300 Libre tokens were staked, but 60 were lost. So only 240 were able to be removed from the staking contract and placed back into my account. That was the first thing that took place. Then we look after the unstake, there is a transfer. Someone transferred tokens from there. So let's see where they went. So they've, oh, right. So this is, I guess, part of the unstake is the transfer. So it goes from the staking contract into my iHeartBTC account. And then this transfer, this is the one I want to look at. That is where HAR3, you clever devil, you took 240 Libre into their account. And if we go, and we can type that HAR3 here, and we can look at their account, and in here we will find one of these will be a transfer where they've received the tokens. This might be it here, actually. Yeah, this is where they received the 240 Libre. So very cool. That's how it works. Word to caution: don't create accounts on a live stream. And then, well, not a live stream, but at least a video that you share, because it was the seed phrase. So those seed words were basically on the screen, and that's what did it. So that's how you can investigate. You go to the Explorer, you can type different account names, and then you can see some of these actions with the descriptions that they have here in the memo and such. So that's very cool. Anyway, back to some other interesting things. So we're in the dashboard. I have actually loaded this account with some reasonable amount of Satoshis. I've got $22.79 worth of Bitcoin in this wallet. It's actually why I moved to my I Love BTC a lot wallet, because I didn't want to actually put some money in here and then have it be gone for when I wanted to demonstrate some of the swaps. So when I did that, I did a receive. So I did receive, this is a proper Bitcoin address, or you can do a Lightning address. I did a proper Bitcoin address, and I sent from my proper Bitcoin account, which I had a wallet on my phone from blockchain.info. I scanned this QR code and I sent over, basically it was whatever the decimal breakdown is of Bitcoin, and it has arrived as basically in the time you'd expect. There is we know Bitcoin's a little slower, 10-minute blocks, usually 3 confirmations. So you're looking at around 30 minutes to actually have to show up in your account. So anyway, here it is. If I wanted to send those, I could again, click on send, and it's going to bring me to a swap from the P network here. And I'd be able to send the Bitcoin pegged version, Libre symbol right there, to my proper wallet. I'm not going to do that like to another external Bitcoin wallet. What I want to do instead is I want to go to, so also no stakes here. So I haven't done any staking, just some Bitcoin sitting in my PBTC. And I want to go to the swap now. So I'm going to transfer some PBTC into PUSD here. So I can pick how much. So let's see, if I want to do 0.0002, so that's $4.57 worth of Bitcoin into USD. So, and we can see here that the bigger number I do, the greater the price impact is going to be. It's called slippage. So if this, if I was to do, and I don't think it'll let me even attempt to show, yeah, see, if I wanted to send one Bitcoin across, I would affect the price by 10%. Like I would lose almost 10% by doing that. So the smaller amounts you do, the less effect it is on liquidity that's available. So in this case, I want to do 0. What did I do? 1. Oh, no, here we go. Let's do a proper $2.28. Okay, good. Let's do that. That's a little less than I had before. If I go swap now, I'm going to open my phone and just show you how fast this works when you're working within. And it's on my phone here. Now it's automatically come to my phone because I'm logged in, and I'm going to hit and it's giving me some details. I'm transferring to the amount. There's a memo basically exchanging BTC USD to PUSDT, and I'm going to authorize that. And boom, just like that, it's done. Success. It's immediately transferred. I have an immediate balance. Like, this is how fast this works. If I go back to the wallet right there, boom, I've already got now the same amount that I traded for, and I've got less Bitcoin. Just like that. It's that easy to trade and swap. Now, I've got two choices. I could also buy Libre tokens themselves. I'm a big fan of Libre. I'm bullish. I'd like to see Libre go a long way. So I'm going to do a little more Libre. Let's do a big chunk. Let's do 0.005. And if it was in US dollars, that would be, let's see how much is the same amount, 0.05. So $114 US here. So, but I'm going to do that in Libre instead. So there it is, which is 19,600 Libre tokens. Like, this is a lot of Libre, but it says I have an insufficient PBTC balance. Oh, what have I done wrong? Not enough zeros. Oh, that's better. I was going to say, that seems like an insane. Okay, so there we go. So it's 1,960 Libre tokens for this amount. So swap now. And also notice there's just a small amount of fee here, a liquidity provider fee of 0.1%, very, very low fees. I swap that, confirm. There it is on my phone. I hit authorize, and boom, transaction signed. I can click this. If I want to see that, I could probably do this here. Let's see what happens if I click on that. Good, it opens into a new page, and now it's showing the same Hyperion Block Explorer, interestingly with this irreversibility aspect, right? So this is called transaction finality, which means that it's possible, very unlikely, it's like 99 point whatever percent finalized, but there's a chance that there could be a micro fork or some issue and the transaction won't be finalized. So that's what that countdown's for. But it has all the details here, just like we saw with the previous when we're looking at HAR3. Back I go. If we look at the wallet, we can see now I have some Libre tokens. I've got PUSD and I've got PBTC. So if I want to, so that's the swap basically figured out. Liquidity. Now, if I wanted to add liquidity to a pool and try to make some farm, let's see, I could probably do a ridiculously small amount. If I do all of my USDT, so call it $2.28, it'll automatically do the other side of the PBTC required for that. So let's do it. I'll add $2.28 worth of liquidity. Not a hardship. And I'm going to authorize that. Signed. And now I have liquidity. Boom. Right here. So that's showing me my share of the LP tokens between PBTC and PUSDT. And the total liquidity is far greater than my little drop in the bucket. We've got 9 Bitcoin and basically $209,000. So both sides of that pair in there. And my share is very small, but that's okay. I can still earn yield on that. Farming, basically here we can farm now. What? So I want to harvest and earn. Okay. I guess I'm kind of curious. Did I not? Okay. Update stake. Because I already have some stake in there. That's right. Okay, here we go. So if I want to put this all in here, stake now, because I wasn't staked. So I had the LP token, but I wasn't farming it. So now Now I'm farming. Ah, okay, that's better. So I had each of the tokens and now I'm done. What about this one? Can I add some stake to here? Yes, because look, I've got some Bitcoin and I've got some Libre. So if I want to put this Bitcoin to work, max, and okay, there we go. So I'm going to add that to liquidity. Let's see. On my phone it goes. And we'll come back to this and see how much farm yield did I really get from this. So there's my liquidity there. Let's go back to the farming. And so I guess we need to do that. So you got to stake and then you got to update. So it's a two-step. So now I need to make sure I stake all of my LP tokens. And you'll notice these transactions are all free. I'm not doing any gas payments. There's no weird resource issue. And that is that. So now I've staked. So two steps. First, you add liquidity. Then you stake it in the farming action here. And it's very cool. Like, look, you can see I'm earning next harvest available February 9th. So every day you can harvest and I will earn Libre. And you can see it updating as we go here. Very, very cool. And the APY, nothing to shake a stick at. That's pretty serious. 152% and 88% APY. And I will see how this goes. I've got $13 here and 456. So that's that. Now I do have a few, if I go back to my wallet, I think I've got some. So yeah, I can see my LP tokens, stake payout, talking about how much I might get when I unstake them. So right now it's all the same because I've just staked today. So that's the same. And I want to consider what Libre, yeah, I've got 803 Libre left worth $4.69. So the next thing across, we've got validators, and that's basically the block producers or the validators themselves. And I'd like to participate in governance because that's important to me. So I'm going to rank. And that's going to now do it from 1 all the way down to the 28th validator. And we can see here all the different names of the accounts and where they're located. We've got Canada, USA, Spain, Korea. So, and a total number of votes. So Libre Tech, they are the whale in the group here. They've got a lot of tokens voting for them. So they're, of course, first place. And then if we go down to, I believe this is like any other vanilla Antelope chain, where once you get to the 22nd spot, you're not actually a producer. But if you're in the 21st spot, you are a producer. So, you know what? I like node 1 though. This is one of my pals, Han, here. So I'm going to vote for Han. And notice I'm only allowed to vote for 1 BP. This is where one of the governance changes to Libre. So I'm going to, it says vote for Libre node 1. Yes, I'm going to authorize that. Oh, must stake before they can vote. I thought I did, maybe I didn't stake. So let's go here. Wallet, my Libre. Oh, I need a new stake. Okay. So new stake, here we go. Libre, max, do all my Libre. Lock up, oh, here we go, right? We've done this before. So I want 100, 365. Because I'm using Firefox, this is not updating. That is my fault. If I was using Chrome browser, which I should be doing, that would say how much the APY is. But I think it's around 100%, thereabouts right now. Okay. Yeah, there it is, 106% right now. That's what the APY is. So the payout in 1 year will be current price, $10, but who knows where Libre is going to be. But bottom line, it's taking 803 Libre and turning it into 1,659 Libre. If I do the emergency unstake, which we saw what happens, you lose a large percentage, which I will not do in this case. So back I go. I want to vote for a validator. Let's resort those. And I'm picking Libre node 1. I'm only doing 1 vote. And here we go. So if you're on some of the other EOSIO or Antelope chains, you can vote for up to 30 block producers. Authorize, and boom, I have voted for Libre node 1. Go Han, go. Get into that 21st spot. So that's that. If you did want to like research a block producer, so here's a good block, great team, huge in the Telos ecosystem, Douglas Horn. This takes us to the goodblock.io website. Which is awesome. That's what we'd like to see. We could do that with any of these other validators. Here's Graymass, a fantastically awesome contributing team with Aaron Cox and the team there. So brings us to their website, and you can do that to the rest. Now, if we want to go to the DAO side of things, this is where we can look at different proposals by the DAO. And we can see we've had one failed proposal, which was to increase the active validators to 30 from the current 21. Now that failed. I don't imagine we know why it failed other than it did not reach enough tokens. So here's some details around that. Code changes and testing to increase the active validators to 30 and allow a schedule to be updated. If less than 30, here's the pull request. And you've got the GitLab information there. Here's the total votes, but it looked like the votes against, which I'm not quite understanding that because it doesn't show you any actual amounts. So not sure on this one, but it did fail. If we go to one that worked, however, setting up RAM Marketplace, here's one. And we can see very minimal against. Luke, what a guy. But we've got Boomer, everyone loves Boomers, and all these other folks. So they voted for that. And away it went. And Libre chain needs RAM Marketplace. Okay, that's awesome. What's the last one here? Just for the sake of learning, pay Edenia for December 2022 smart contract app. Well, Edenia is a fantastic team. They deserve to get paid. And here we see no against and many token holders voting for, including a bit of a whale here, Libre Tech and Edenia voting for themselves, as they should. I think these tokens are, I feel like they're off by a decimal place because there's not actually 8 billion tokens in supply. So I think there's just a decimal place error there. And that's the amount they would have got paid. So that's well-deserved, and development on Mint Libre, Reward Libre, Farm Libre, and work about CertiK audit. So that is awesome. That's the DAO. If we go to the audit, this is where we are basically getting sort of the proof of assets because Libre is using a pegged token from the PBTC network. They are doing a comparison basically of the total BTC that exists on the Libre network. This number should equal this number. And it does. So that's great. That means they're looking at the addresses tied to the Bitcoin on the Libre network that's held on the P network, and those match up. And then, of course, you can go through and see some of these actual accounts themselves on the P network BTC address. And then we go to the Explorer, which we've already had a look at, which is a lightweight Explorer by Hyperion and team by EOS Rio. Vote for them on any BP opportunity you have, like an EOS, for example. And that is that. They're going to be here somewhere probably. Yes, there they are. Rio Blocks, 15th place. So that is a lot of the functionality that you have here. I'm over on the right-hand side. I can log out and log back in, of course. And the dashboard brings us back to have a look at the overall. And if we look at TVL, by the way, this is interesting. Recently, Libre was listed on DeFi Llama. It's only showing just under 3 million in locked TVL. But in fact, that does not include the Libre tokens themselves. So there is a market for Libre tokens. They're worth something. So the true TVL, including Libre tokens, is $5.3 million. And that's a great start to a brand new chain. And so here, when I look at chain activity, we can see the different pools. So PBTC Libre, we've got the APY. We can see the amount that's in each of these pools. And so I've joined these pools with my little drop in the bucket. And what's also quite interesting to notice is for the tokens themselves, there's 3 main types of tokens. The percentage staked by Libre tokens is really high. 95% of all issued Libre tokens are currently staked. So that's quite cool. That speaks a lot to the potential price appreciation, not financial advice, but when you have a lot of tokens staked, it means reduced circulating supply. And if there is upward price pressure, then there's less potential sellers because they're staked. And if there's a penalty to unstake, that even adds even more confidence to the idea that the token just can't get dumped, which is something we should all be concerned about when looking at new chains. So that runs through our brief review here of the Libre, Bitcoin Libre interface. And we will be coming back at you very shortly with another how to make a wallet tutorial. But in this time, we're going to show you how to generate your own seed phrase and your own keys. Previously, when you make a wallet with the Libre app, it gives you your seed phrase. So those of us who are extra paranoid and don't want to do that on a device, you can generate your seed phrase off-chain, or certainly offline, definitely off-chain, offline, and then use that seed phrase and private public key pair to then create your account. So we'll run through that for those who are a little more security sensitive. And yeah, so have a good one, and we'll talk to you next time.